It's the night of May 7th, 2026. In libraries across the country, students are pushing toward graduation deadlines when their screens suddenly flicker and turn red. The learning management system they relied on had been replaced. In place of their assignments was a ransom note from a hacking syndicate called ShinyHunters, claiming they had seized the entire platform. For deeper investigations into the digital systems that control our infrastructure, subscribe to the channel. This wasn't a localized outage. Canvas serves as the primary digital gateway for over 9,000 institutions, from K-12 districts to elite universities like the University of Chicago. With 275 million users suddenly unable to access their grades or submit their finals, the normal functions of these schools came to a standstill. This collapse highlights the risk of a single point of failure. By centralizing the academic records and communications of thousands of schools into one vendor, the entire sector became vulnerable to a single, successful breach. The May 7 lockout effectively took the digital records of millions of students hostage, right at the most critical point in the academic year. ShinyHunters is a specialized criminal group that focuses on exploiting centralized cloud-based services. They don't just steal data, they leverage it to extort entire platforms. They frequently target single sign-on, or SSO. This technology allows one master credential to authenticate a user across dozens of different applications. If a hacker captures that one login, they gain immediate, verified access to everything linked to that user's account. The group used these tactics throughout 2024 and 2025 to extract millions of dollars from major corporations like Ticketmaster and AT&T. They eventually turned toward education, a sector that holds highly sensitive personal information but often operates on cybersecurity budgets that haven't kept pace with modern threats. For ShinyHunters, the Canvas platform offered the greatest possible scale. A single entry point gave them access to more users than nearly any corporate target they had hit previously. While the public only saw the lockout in May, internal records show the intrusion actually began on April 25, 2026. After detecting the attacker a few days later, the platform's parent company, Instructure, tried to contain the damage quietly. They revoked access tokens and deployed security patches, hoping to secure the system without a public incident. But ShinyHunters were still monitoring the system. They saw the security patches as an attempt to ignore their demands, and on May 3rd, they retaliated by leaking a list of 8,800 compromised schools on the dark web. When the platform still didn't negotiate, the hackers took their final step on May 7th, defacing the login page and setting a hard deadline for payment on May 12th. They claimed to have billions of private messages. Unlike simple ID numbers, these messages contained intimate details about student mental health, academic struggles, and personal conflicts. Because the initial intrusion was handled as a silent technical fix rather than a public crisis, the hackers were able to spend nearly 2 weeks inside the system, escalating from simple data theft to a total platform takeover. Universities were left with a brutal trade-off. They could attempt to negotiate a multi-million-dollar settlement with criminals, or they could allow the private communications of their students to be published online. The real danger of this breach is its longevity. Student names, ID numbers, and their specific writing styles provide everything needed to build a perfect phishing campaign. Future scams will likely arrive as fake emails from financial aid or grading offices, using the stolen context from these private messages to appear legitimate. This creates a systemic challenge for FERPA, the federal law designed to keep these records private. The hack is a direct consequence of prioritizing the convenience of centralized software over the funding required to actually protect it. Until student data is secured with the same urgency as financial data, millions of users remain vulnerable to the security failures of a single centralized vendor.